Hello, you're watching Stretford Paddock. We're here for the review, as you can see there, of Man United 0, Burnley 2. I'm sure you've all just watched the game. Absolute fucking shambles. Very poor, wasn't it, Alex?
It was, yeah. It was poor from start to finish. Like, there wasn't anything good to say. I think we missed a lot of chances. I don't think we weren't great all the way through, but we created enough to be.
We should have been ahead.
Should have been ahead in the first half. Just poor overall. You know, from the defensive aspects to us creating chances, to us taking chances, to the substitutes that came on, the options that we had. You know, the things that we could change. Just everything. Yeah,
it just looked like a sort of replica copy of these sorts of games that we keep seeing, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
without
it's not.
Doubt. Yeah.
It doesn't. If you didn't watch the game for whatever reason, imagine the Newcastle game or the Palace game or
Bournemouth.
the Bournemouth game or the Everton game last season. It's
exactly the same.
It's just that same thing again. We have a few chances, don't take them. They have a couple of chances, take them. We've lost. We don't have it. We don't have what it takes to turn the game around once we're behind. If we miss those chances early on, we're probably going to lose. It's been like this for 6 years.
Yeah. It's not
shit, wasn't
it? It's maybe. Do you know this is like for 6 years? It's not been this. It's not been this bad, but it's been in the way that in 6 years, like it's been like There's been players playing out of position. There's been why is he not playing? Why is he playing? There's been we're too negative. There's too that. We're now at the point where it's just like we're not very good.
No.
Those players just aren't good enough players to be Premier League.
Team,
you know, we aren't those players. Whatever we could get into this in a second, but whatever way you put them, aren't good enough to be a top 4 team. And when things go wrong, like conceding from a set piece, which we are fucking dreadful at, this is going to happen. You know, the heads are going to go down. All is going to go down. Like it's going to happen.
Yeah. The team's just shit.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Should we look at some stats?
Yeah, and even someone talking about Fred in the comments there. Fred did all right. He didn't lose the ball too many times. He took loads of shots that didn't go in.
Yep.
He kept taking shots on his right foot from 25 yards out. What is that for decision making?
Yeah.
If you're trying to fill a team, you know, in theory, we're Man United. We want to win the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to fill a team with players that are going to win the league, they don't keep taking shots on their weak foot from 25 yards out when they've never scored one. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not even... And the reason I'm saying that is because Fred was one of our best players tonight and has been for the last 2 months. What does that say?
And he's poor. Like, he's not... He was poor.
He's good. He was good against Liverpool. He puts in good performances here and there, but he's not Tony Kroos no matter what. And he's one of our best players. We're just not, like I said, this team isn't very good.
Yeah.
No, we're just shit. Yeah. We're just a bad team.
So we've got stats there. We had 24 shots.
Great.
Now, 7 of them were on target.
Yeah.
I don't remember the keeper making... I think we had
very
the clear chances. We had Martial overstretched, that missed that one. Martial with a poor touch when he got played through.
Yeah, Dan James heading the ball over from 2 yards out.
And then in the second half, I don't really remember anything.
We had Luke Shaw had a goal disallowed for shoving someone over. Which
and
was
then the other one was, what was it as well? The Greenwood had a decent shot, but that was it. You know, Disney Channel, House on Redman. I watched that one. The Redman TV said we used to kid ourselves how good our players were. Yeah. You know, Liverpool used to say that.
That was Paul from the Redman
and I still
TV
think,
that.
and I still think like,
yeah.
They used to do that for a while. They used to say how good, Lucas Leiva, he's a pretty good player.
Oh, he's a brilliant player. On his day.
And to be honest,
Arsenal fans do the same thing. And now we do the same thing.
We're kind of doing the same thing, you know. Yeah. And that's where we kind of said Fred today was all right. He's been quite good the last 2 months.
Yeah. Doesn't really create much.
He's not that good.
And again, I'm not trying. We're talking about Fred because he actually is one of our best players.
Yeah.
Not because he's the one that needs picking on the most. We're using him as an example of where we are. He doesn't really create much goals or assists. He's decent in terms of interceptions, but his passing's not great. He doesn't really make many tackles compared to some of the top defensive midfielders in the league. His decision making is not great. And yet he stands out as one of our best players. We really are just not that good. And
it's again like teams sitting back, 72% possession.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Doesn't seem to matter.
Key passes 20 passes that led. You know, just not good enough. They're just players that aren't.
Yeah.
It's just like that. So I said to you then, I said there was a lot. We had the watch along there. There was so many comments saying Ollie's the wrong man for the job. Ollie's doing this wrong. Ollie's doing this wrong. So in the comments, we're going to go through tonight what for the players were available. So let's say the players there and the subs that were. I'll pull it. Let's find them for us. I'll pull them up as well.
There was Lingard. There was Shaw. There was
subs coming along the bottom there.
Who else was there? Greenwood started
bench
a sub.
Romero really slowly. So you got Romero, Bailly, the low.
Yeah, and then we've said the rest. I think Shaw.
Yeah,
Greenwood.
So
Gomez. Lingard.
Put what's your 11 that wins it today?
Yeah.
Like for me, I struggle to like. Maybe I might have started Greenwood over Pereira. I think that from the start would have been a better idea. Maybe Bailly over Jones.
But I don't like.
But you don't know how fit Bailly is. And I
think if he had played, they probably would have targeted the fact that he's not played for 6 months and really gone for him.
Yeah, and that. So what's the team?
Yeah, other than Greenwood, I don't think there's anyone that has to start that didn't start.
Yeah, there's not
that you could definitely say would even particularly change things. Like Bailly would have done all right, but Phil Jones, despite people taking the piss out of him all the time,
he wasn't that bad today.
Wasn't at fault for either goal particularly, and didn't play badly. I don't think Eric Bailly would have won us the game.
Yeah,
he certainly wouldn't have stopped the first goal because that was a mixture of Matic and Maguire. Yeah. The second goal. To be honest, I don't think anyone.
So we've got one here. It said 8 out of 11 players ain't good enough. That's to be honest, you're right there. You know, Dyche. I'd say Dyche. I wouldn't say 8 out of 11. I'd probably say I think Dyche is good enough to start. I think Wan-Bissaka's good enough to start. Maguire's good enough to start in the team, and Martial. I think Brandon Williams is a question mark. I think
just because we don't know enough.
But I don't think he's going to be he's going to be a starting. He's not even the starting player.
I mean, look at the teams that have won the leagues over the last. The fact that we're even talking about winning the league is just silly, to be honest. Yeah. But
our whole team is United beat it exactly. That team today, that's a squad. That's your squad players. That's what it is. I thought Williams was good. I thought he was good. You know, there's a lot of people saying why did he come off, and to be honest, I'm not too sure. But we've kind of thought what, the other questions were bring on Gomez. You know, that's not really. Is that going to do much? The other question was bring on Delo, maybe something that he might offer something different. But Delo's not doing anything.
Martial was poor tonight as well. He had decent chances that he just fluffed. He didn't react quick enough to that one that he stuck his leg out and got half a touch on it. I don't think he reacted quick enough there. Martial seems to be the player in the squad that has the most defensive fan base, doesn't he? When you say something bad about Martial, people really come out and don't like it. But he was poor tonight, and he's been all right this season. And I think he could work in a good team, but for me, he hasn't improved as much as you would have expected from when he was signed, has he? Yeah. That's and whether you think he was good enough when he was signed, and I can't see how you could really say that he's got that much better in the last 5 years.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying, do you know what, that team isn't very good, but with good tactics, we beat Burnley, Newcastle, Southampton, Villa, but. No, the whole point is that this team is inconsistent, and that's the problem. This is when you have a team that isn't very good.
Yeah. Let's not forget this. Go on, sorry.
The thing is, these players aren't. These lads aren't bad at football. Like literally, they aren't watching the Sunday League team and going, he really can't kick the ball. It's not like coming to watch us play. Yeah. These lads are all good footballers. The problem is because they're not at the top of the game. You remember the Premier League is the best of the best players in the world. Yeah. When you're not at the top of that league, at the top of that game, you're going to be inconsistent. You're going to have games where Pereira's going to play unbelievable and score fucking worldies. Then there's going to be games like today where he was shite. Yeah. You're going to have Dan James. He's going to have games because he's 21 where he runs in behind. A couple of them shots that Yates go in the top corner. Yeah. That header goes in. But he's 21. He's not quite a finished product yet. He's not going to do it. That's the problem.
The squad is filled with too many players that don't have good games enough. You're talking about, with a good coach, good tactics, we beat Burnley, Newcastle, Southampton and Villa. This is the same team that beat Chelsea twice, beat City, beat Arsenal this season?
No, we didn't.
We're not.
Beat Tottenham.
Beat Tottenham. We beat Chelsea twice, who are above us. We beat City.
The only team to take points of Liverpool.
Only team to take points of Liverpool.
That's not something I want to say.
This is the same team that did that. But that's the thing. You don't just beat all of the teams that are worse than you and lose to all of the teams that are better than you. This is what inconsistency looks like. You lose at home to Burnley, and then you go and beat Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge. This is what we do.
Yeah.
This is what it's like. The team's not good enough. We're a team that's already probably not good enough for top 4 with our best 3 players injured.
Yeah.
It's going to be shit, isn't it?
Lose Rashford and lose Martial too. There's a stat for the United family put thing today that I hadn't figured out. Martial has only scored 1 goal when he's not on the pitch with Rashford this season. That's a massive thing, that's. Yeah. And I saw a comment that we actually didn't address in the thing saying Keno slagging Martial, saying that he's not good enough for United, and he's not bad. He's not a bad player, and I'd like him in the squad. I think he's a very good player. But do you know what?
Qualities.
He might, when Keane's looking at it from the squads he was in, Varane wasn't good enough for United, and Varane was fucking brilliant.
Varane would be by far the best player in this team.
Yeah, Varane at that time didn't quite have enough and didn't hit the standards that Roy Keane expected of his players, and fucked him off. Yeah. That's what happens when that was a standard, right? That's it. It's the dream starting 11. Look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 signings in that. It's going to cost us 400 million, and it's just not going to happen. No. That's,
should that team really be beat by Burnley? No, we shouldn't. No, which is why we're disappointed, and we're not going. Yeah, fair.
Yeah, and to be honest, there's so many things we got wrong tonight. The defending for both them goals was not good enough. Our defenders weren't tight enough to him, and you can make excuses for Maguire all you want. Maguire wasn't close enough to the players. It wasn't good enough. But one thing I do know is that when you're playing centre-half with someone that's not good enough, like Phil Jones, and I'm not saying Phil Jones had a bad game, but you do things like you drop off a bit more. You see that header that they won, he probably thought they were going to miss that header, so dropped off a bit more, and that meant he wasn't as tight to those players. If you're with someone that's better, he makes that. I'm not making it is an excuse, but it's not like he shouldn't be making those mistakes. But all those things, you've got to understand that those things all make a difference. The fact that Maguire's playing with someone he's not played with that often, and when he has played, has dropped some absolute clangers, affects Maguire's performance.
There's so many things that affect a team and a manager and confidence and all that. And we've just got loads of shit things at the moment. We've got bad players. We've got no confidence because we've been shit for 6 years. We've got maybe. Who knows? The fact that Ole's not won anything in England before, maybe people doubt him. That doesn't help. There's obviously a lot of fans that doubt him.
Yeah.
We've got bad owners. We've got bad people running the club. Bad people buying players. We've got fucking loads of problems. Literally loads. All of the problems a football club can have, except having loads of money, we've got. And the only thing that's keeping us in 6th is the fact that we can just spend 80 million on Maguire and 50 million on Wan-Bissaka. But we're not spending consistently the money on the right people. We're getting the wrong managers in, or maybe they're not the wrong managers. Maybe Van Gaal wasn't the wrong manager and Mourinho wasn't the wrong manager. But they are again being put into a system that has loads of problems with it. Yeah. It's not one problem. It's not one fix. Getting rid of Ole doesn't change hardly anything.
You look at the Roy Keane argument, to be honest, Roy Keane against Carragher of the day sums up exactly what's the problem that we have this argument at the same time. Jamie Carragher's going, he's not good enough and should be sacked. That's Carragher, which is what a lot of people are saying in these comments right now.
Yeah.
But Roy Keane's going, well, do you know what? Mourinho had 3 years and didn't do it.
Yeah.
Van Gaal had 3. Are you saying they're bad managers? And then he said about David Moyes, David Moyes, do you think he deserved to get sacked after 8 months? Do you know what? Things didn't go right. But now looking at it, do you not think that the players, when he came out and says, do you know what, I was promised Toni Kroos, Fabregas, Ronaldo and Bale.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Maybe he wasn't lying about that.
Maybe he would have done all right with those players.
Maybe that's what Woodward did promise them. Maybe that's what he came in and said, I want these players. And they've gone, no worries, Dave, we'll sort them for you. Yeah. And then you get Marouane Fellaini and Juan Mata and kind of go, oh, shit. That... Jose actually won something. You're right, he did. You know what? But then it all fucking crashed and burned, and everyone wanted him out. So that's
and that's not even just a United thing.
No,
Jose Mourinho has done that at every single club he's been at.
Yeah,
Jose Mourinho has crashed and burned at literally every single club he's been at, regardless of what he's won. He's won Champions Leagues, he's won multiple Premier Leagues, he's won La Ligas, he's won cups everywhere he's been, and every single time he's been at a club, he falls out with everyone and fucks off. So that's not even unique to United. Maybe you could say that he should have been backed more, or you could go the other way and say he never should have been appointed, because that's what you get from Jose. And it's just loads of problems. Loads of fucking problems. And to be fair, actually, looking at the comments tonight, there are plenty of people saying Ollie out, but a lot of people seem more annoyed at the board and
which is what it is.
Woodward
That's
to me,
that is
that's
the
the problem, isn't it? Hello, Stephen Howson's here.
Stephen
Look,
Howson's here. Fucking hell.
fucking came right in, didn't he?
Right in.
Why?
No problems.
Yeah.
He'll be having a review where I'm sure he'll be nice and calm and relaxed.
You happy,
and stuff.
Steve? He just got a litre and a half of Coca-Cola, which I presume he's going to put in some sort of bucket and just drop
Everyone's
his head in it.
we said in the watch along as well. Said, what do you want Ollie to say after the press conference, after the game? First, everyone said he should be miserable because that was shit. He looked pretty miserable to me. And here's a quote from him: "We hold our hands up. It wasn't good enough."
Yeah. There you go.
Not
smiling.
He's not smiling.
Not trying
he's
to say
miserable.
that, it was pretty good. Nice of Burnley to put out a full strength team against us. He's fucking pissed off.
That's it.
For me, the most important performance. For me, the most important thing, we have to perform on the pitch. Today wasn't good enough for Man United. So he's not pulling any punches. He's not, trying to make out like things were good when they weren't. It was shit. It was absolutely rubbish.
This is the thing again. Everyone's saying, is he good enough? I don't fucking know. No one fucking knows. But I'll tell you what it is. Was Jose Mourinho good enough? Should have been. Didn't work. Yeah. Was Louis van Gaal good enough? Should have been. Didn't work. Was David Moyes good enough? Can't say should have been. Didn't work.
Yeah.
See the pattern? No one fucking knows, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sack him, do what you want. But I don't see us sacking him. I don't think it makes anything better.
No.
And I think we said this about Mourinho. We said this about Van Gaal. You sack him, it's not going to get any fucking better. You have to give someone a long period of time to see what happens.
Yeah. You actually have to back him properly.
You have to back him. You have to spend money on it. That's it.
Oh, the common denominator is Woodward and the owners. There you go. There's that's more. When you look at problems that things have and like trends and things over a long period of time, you have to look at common denominators, things that are there for the long time.
Rio Ferdinand,
like I said there.
Has the manager been good enough? The results would suggest not. You have to be honest, it's not good enough. I'll give him a little backing in one sense, a lot of injuries, but still the big amount of money spent. He
didn't spend that much. What? He spent money on Maguire and Wan-Bissaka and that. I don't know. Rio. Chris Smalling says Ferdinand says Chris Smalling is the best defender at the club. Gone. I don't understand it.
Even Rio's losing his head.
Can people not remember what people thought of Chris Smalling in the summer? Everyone was fucking clapping him out of the club, and now look at you.
Chris Smalling,
unbelievable.
Chris Smalling that completed more passes to fucking stewards than he did his own centre half.
I like Chris Smalling. To be honest, I never had a go at Chris Smalling. But the idea that now we get to look back and say Chris Smalling was fucking brilliant and everyone loved him, that isn't what happened. Anyway, let's leave it there because this is ridiculous. Ferdinand, go on. Let's get that last one. Ferdinand says, you look at some of these players and they've come in. Were these players ever United players? Who's buying these players? Now you look, 600 million spent on this team. 4 best players this season. Homegrown talent, Williams, Rashford, Greenwood, McTominay.
Exactly.
Also, 600 million spent on this team. Is that right? This team that started tonight has got a £600 million transfer.
Team, but I think in general he's like on Manchester United.
On the team, on the squad that we've got at the minute. Yeah, there's been a lot of money spent, and most of it's been spent either on bad players or on systems that have been obsolete within 2 years.
Smalling is a good defender, but he can't pass wind. That's why we got fucking rid of him. That's why. I can give that's the reason why he's not there, because we want him to play out from the back, and he can't fucking pass the ball very well. That's what's happened.
Anyway. Thank you very much for joining us. This has been fun, hasn't it? Absolute shambles, lads. Right, we'll be back. All sorts of videos, obviously. Come back and tune in for all that shit. See you in a bit.
Bye.